Okay. Finally, I can just get this all off my chest. Hello YouTube, it is I, RainingCardGames, and welcome back to, I guess, another Master Duel video. However, if you noticed this past week, we have been grinding through the Duelist Cup, getting up the levels, you know, playing for the most part Dragoonity. Now, some stuff has happened during this entire video run, if you would want to call it that. As of the last episode, we were, you know, just climbing up with Dragoonity, but I decided, you know what, I don't really like, in terms of playing Dragoonity, I can run through Dragoonity combos physically on hand or on faster digital clients like Yugioh Pro really quick without wasting so much time on that little timer that you're given, the 300 seconds. So I could literally do all those Dragoonity combos like the back of my hand in half the time. So it doesn't feel as time consumptive, drag, click, like it does on Master Duel. So I switched up decks, you know, just to speed up the process, get me to level 20 on time for the start of part 2 or stage 2 of the Duelist Cup. However, when I did switch out, I first decided, okay, let's go into a deck that I like, that I've played on Yugioh Pro and had some good success with, and should have a decent line climbing up Metaphys Sword Soul. And that got me up to about level 17. I was like, okay, we're almost there. We're close to 20, so let's keep going. And then for the next, basically these past 2 days, I have been in a non-stop flux between 17, 18, 17, 18, 17, 18, 17, 18, 17, 18, on and on and on. And it was starting to get frustrating. It's like, okay, let's switch up decks maybe. Because I was playing so many Labyrinth, so many Kashtira, more Labyrinth, more Kashtira. It was just going back and forth. And then occasionally a couple Monkey Brain decks where I was playing some Numeron OTK or some some random self TK stuff. So just keep me in this constant flux. It was starting to get really frustrating. So I was like, all right, let's change things up, try a different deck. So I went to, you know what? Let's just don't care about the coin flip. Let's play some magical musket or like fossil muskets. You know, just blind OTK, kaiju, punch. But even then, the same thing. On and on. Same opponents that were able to either deal with it or activate something to generate it, like a floodgate like Tikaboo or a Gozen match. It was so frustrating. I even tried earlier, before even filming this video, let's give it one more try. I'm going to try Lair, I'm going to try other decks. It just wasn't happening. I think this is a little... Obviously, I know there are people who've made it to stage 2, but I don't want to cop out and say, alright, let's play Labyrinth, let's play Kashtira, because I hate those decks. I hate playing against them, I hate playing them. I don't like either of them. So... I think we're just going to call it an end to this run, because it's just not worth it. And this is, I guess, one of the flaws right now in Master Duel. It's like that timer is sometimes limiting. Not in the sense that it's not enough time, but sometimes the way decks play, they force you to play it so slow to the point where it's not as enjoyable. So for example, I would love to play Six Samurai digitally. It takes way too long with that timer to play. Same thing with Dragoonity. Absolutely love running through those combos, but too time consuming for Master Duel. In person, speedy. But otherwise, no, it's just not enjoyable. And then the downside of having best of ones. All these matchups where you're so dependent on the coin flip. Or did you draw Max C? Did you draw any of your hand traps? Otherwise, you're just going to sit there and watch your opponent play. Only for you to have nothing on the crackback. And then you can't do anything about it because there's no game 2 or 3 because you don't have a side deck. This is just me venting out all my frustrations with this past Master Duel flux that I've been in. Now, I'm not going to end the video on just me blah, blah, blah. I'm going to give at least a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh content. So at least I'm going to showcase the decks that I did use after Dragoonity. So Metaphys Sword Soul and the Lair of Darkness and the Fossil Muskets. Obviously, like, I could have crafted something more to generate or like something more second, but also I want to use the gems and all the resources I have for future decks, so I don't want to just throw all these eggs into one basket just for the sake of slowly grinding out to get up to max level 20. But in either case, that's going to do my rant about Master Duel. Wow. Starting this video off as a banger, aren't I? But anyway, if, you know, the usual, like, comment, subscribe, hopefully. Anyway, let's take a look at the decks that I have been trying to make work on Master Duel for this final push in the Duelist Cup. Okay, so this is partially the Metaphys Sword Soul list that I've been using. Obviously, this is my actual Metaphys Sword Soul, not the Duelist Cup version. This is what I started with. However, eventually what I ended up doing was adding stuff because I was starting to get really frustrated with the coin flip section. I was adding stuff like Lightning Storms, Raigekis, so on and so forth. But overall, the list remains relatively similar to what I was using in the Duelist Cup. You have your hand traps that hopefully you open. D-Shifter can be great, especially this did help me when I was climbing up from level 13 up to 17 and 18. This shut down so many branded decks. It was great. And then, you know, of course, you've got a lot of cool synergies with the Metaphys cards, but fairly straightforward list. Basically, almost translated from my actual version. Now, there's some other things that I included too that I'm probably going to eventually edit to this. I will add the triple tactics engine, which I have done in other decks in the Duelist Cup, which I'll probably do for Master Duel, my regular Master Duel decks as well. That's something to factor in. But all in all, this deck performed great. It's just, I was in this constant up, down, level up, level down stage at 18 and 19. But those was the first deck that I tried, and then eventually I just got frustrated with Master Duel with. Let's take a look at some of the others. This one is my Fossil Musket one. This was where, okay, I was kind of like, you know what? Let's just turn off our brain and go second. So this is my normal Fossil Musket list, still tweaking with a couple ratios and stuff. Obviously, right now you see it's 41 cards. What I ended up doing is I was cutting out a few pieces here and there, cutting out a Crooked Crown, and then as well as a Weathering Soldier, make a little bit more room for some board breakers. So I added in Lightning Storms, I added in Raigeki, I added in a couple of imperms. Basically as much, you know, just like, hey, turn off my brain, just go second, hit, punch hard. That got me up to 18. Almost made it to 19. Lost 3 in a row, dropped down. Same old story, that flux between 18, 17, almost reaching 19, then dropping back down to 17. So then I was like, okay, just blind going second ain't working, so let's try something else. This was the last deck that I used in my attempts to hopefully get to 20, actually right before I started recording this video. I decided to turn to an old friend from Master Duel in the past, Lair of Darkness. I tweaked the list slightly, so as you can see, I added in that, like I said, that triple tactics engine right there. Added in some imperms, cut out a couple of things like the trap trick. Hopefully was able to see some success. Got to 18, almost made it to 19, and then same thing, just drop right back down to 17 in this constant state of flux. It was great, though, when it did work, you know, dealing with Kashtira decks, being able to tribute away some of their bigger monsters and control the field. Same thing going up against Labyrinth, being able to resolve Eradicator Epidemic Virus. Fantastic, especially when you tribute away the big lady. But at the same time, if I didn't open Lair of Darkness or I didn't open the correct back rows to deal with my opponent's board, it would just kind of sit, pass, wait for something to happen. Yeah. So I had this, my last game was actually against B-Trooper, and it was just a frustrating, like, I just didn't have the correct cards to deal with their board. And those are the decks that I would basically have gotten me up to level 18 and then some. Like I said, I don't want to go the full Kashtira route or the Labyrinth or play basically decks that I know in the current scene are great. I just don't want to play them because I hate Kashtira and I hate Labyrinth. I could have played Pearly or other cards, but that means I would have to basically craft everything. You can kind of see right now I don't have everything to craft without disenchanting some stuff, and I don't want to spend money on digital cards. So that is what it is. You could say I am crashing out of the Duelist Cup on my own terms. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this series of the Duelist Cup videos. I know it's been a week of bombardment of Duelist Cup videos. Hopefully the next Master Duel stuff, it'll just be regular ranked playing some different decks. Obviously, it's not going to be a week of video. It's going to be spread out more. I was just trying to get these videos in whilst the Duelist Cup was running. But in either case, thank you all so much. It's been delightful. So long, good luck, and goodbye. Until next time, may you live until you die.